Recording?
It's recording.
Sweet.
Talking about what we did last semester. We're talking about what we will do.
Well, that's good too. That means the future. I don't think Steven's going to be.
Yes, I can.
I can.
Yeah, I do know.
All right. I guess we'll go ahead and get started. Welcome to the first colloquium of the spring 2012 semester. I'm Levi Lewis, the ACN chapter president. And this is the colloquium for after-school activities in the CS department. And rather than telling you to say no to things, we're going to want you to say yes to things. And that's the only after-school special. Is that bad?
Yeah.
I was debating.
It's so bad.
Okay, all right. Well, still say no to those things too. But that's the only joke I have to do. So the rest of the time I'll just say words like Ruby and stuff.
So I can leave now?
You can leave. Yeah, that's okay. All right. So just a brief outline of what we're going to be going over. I'm kind of be like the MC of the thing. I'm not going to be the only one talking. Just going to introduce each person. But I am going to be the first one talking. I'm going to discuss MUGTUG, what that amazing acronym means, and everything there is to know about it. Then Mr. Cameron's going to come up and talk about the .NET Users Group and CS Movie Night. Then Travis can come up and tell us about the spring programming competition coming up this semester. Dr. Rich is then going to come up and talk about Cyber Defense Team, followed by how Dr. Allen is telling you how you can get involved in the Mercer Creative Summer Camps this summer. And then we have time to talk a little bit about Google I/O 2012. I think everyone's heard me talk about that for hours, but get a little blurb about that. And then I'll kind of just go over the spring colloquium series as a whole, since it's the first colloquium of the semester. So, first up is MUGTUG. Just to give you a little explanation of what it is, the acronym stands for Mercer University Google Technology Users Group. Basically what we do is we teach technologies that are on the cutting edge of or cutting edge technologies. Some of the things that we went over last semester were App Inventor, HTML and HTML5, JavaScript, Google development tools, just basically Google products that are currently coming out and currently used by web developers and Android developers. The primary thing that we talk about are Android and web development, but basically if there's a Google element to anything, we can talk about it also. The cool thing about this group is we don't have a weekly speaker that comes, or one specific weekly speaker that comes in. Basically, a person from the group decides that they want to find out more information about something, and they come in and they say that I want to learn about, let's say, App Inventor. Even though I think, is App Inventor still around?
Yes.
It's around, but it's not Google.
It's not being supported as a Google beta product.
Okay, but it's there. Yeah. So let's say Travis comes in and says, I want to learn more about App Inventor. So over the next week, he would look into App Inventor, everything there is to know about it, and come up with a short presentation and a couple examples of how to use App Inventor. And then he would come in and give that presentation, and he wouldn't have to be a master of it. Travis will probably mess it up a couple times, but that's okay. That's what MUGTUG is about. It's about going up and basically just being at least a half step ahead of everyone so you can lead everyone in the discussion. Because hopefully everyone else in the group doesn't know anything about it either, so they can come in and you can work through it together. And it's a good excuse to learn certain topics if you've never had an excuse to learn them before. We meet every Tuesday from 7 to 8 in the CSB 204, which is this room, so just come by here. Except when .NET meetings are occurring, what we're going to basically do is when a .NET meeting is going on, we're going to encourage the MUGTUG people to go to that instead, and we're going to try to get .NET people to go to MUGTUG, so that they get a little more balance into the technology that they see, since it's going to be a little Google heavy with MUGTUG. If you want more information about it, you can contact me at levilewistech@gmail.com. It's a great organization. It's really nice for learning about things. It gives you public speaking skills because you have to stand up and give a presentation whenever you have a new technology. It's really a fun group to be a part of.
There's just some wonderful resources available.
Yes.
You know, if you say I want to learn about this, Google has a tutorial.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're getting thrown into the middle of something.
Oh, and I should mention MUGTUG is for developer tools, and not like things such as Google Search or Google Earth or any of those things. Just
You
basically,
might do a public service project.
like public service, like teaching those things, but like you can't go, I'm going to learn more about how to use Google Search, and then give a presentation. It's more like the development side. But we have talked about having have people come in and teach them how to use Google things like Google Docs and I think mean like we could go into that, but I'm talking more of having come in and say, this is how you use Google. Let's type something in. Those
But
kind
if
of,
you wanted to embed Google search on your website, we
that
can
would
talk about
be a
how to
good.
do that.
Yes, that would be that's a good differentiate. Using things like Google Earth and things like that is not what it's about. It's more about getting developers together and working on them together.
Levi,
Yes.
have you gotten the Mug Tug to be sponsored by the university?
No.
Doesn't it qualify?
It qualifies, yes. The reason we basically when we started, Dr. White and I started up the group, I knew that there was a university recognized committee. I was on SGA, so I was in there while they were making that up, and I didn't think we should do it for the first semester just because we were still getting going and wanted to make sure we had everything in line. And a lot of groups came in that did well in the accreditation, or what's the right word, or the university. Yeah, but I mean, they did a lot better if they came in and said, we've already tested it out for a semester, here's what we do. You know more about how the group's going to function rather than just going in blindly and saying, we're thinking about doing this. So that's the main reason. I'm going to check into the semester if you can do it halfway through the semester or halfway
You
through.
can do it up until the last week of SGA.
There we go.
And what benefits would you get if they accept you as an official?
You can register tables, you can go and do outside functions that are Mercer sponsored, get SGA funding for various things, including hotel stays or posters, office supplies.
Like a trip to Google I/O?
Yeah, if we get tickets. The only thing it won't cover is food, unfortunately, which is our biggest expense.
Transportation is fun.
Yeah. The main reason we mostly would use food and they can't do that.
Or
But
they don't give you money for food?
no food money. Which would stink, seeing as
They give you money for equipment that you could sell on the black markets for food?
there's gray areas, yes.
Okay.
But
that
we're
was
not going to do
recorded,
those
wasn't it?
because we're recording. We don't want to. Anyway, are there any other non-gray area questions about legality of buying food products?
If you want to know about gray areas, talk to me. I've been doing it for years. And by that, I mean I've been working with SGA for years with several different organizations. And
Oh, I know. I'm on SGA. I know that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so are there any other questions not referring to SGA or things such as that?
There are no other questions
Yes,
about
Dr.
SGA.
There's a course offered in engineering school that's maybe Android development.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah. Dr. Econ, but double E, mobile phone.
Oh, Andrew? Okay.
Wow, I need to go over and take that.
That'd be great.
Go see what they're doing.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe we can invite him to give a talk.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah.
We still have a couple of slots open.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be good. Okay, so next up we have the Macon.net user group, and Mr. Cameron's going to come up and talk about that.
Good morning. Basically, the Macon.net user group is we meet every odd month on usually the second or third Tuesday of that month, and we talk about mainly Microsoft-centric technologies. Okay, we will actually go and sort of branch out to other as well because we are really an open group. Usually the meeting starts about 7 o'clock. Runs from an hour to hour and a half, sometimes 2. We actually have had speakers come from Atlanta as well to talk about various things like Windows Phone or using other technologies like MPC and things like that. Okay, so it's basically a reason for the community of developers outside of Mercer to come together, and actually bring their skills together and talk about things. And I do invite any student who wants to join us, please do. We actually had our first meeting this week of 2012 with the Mugto group coming in with us too, so it's pretty fun. Okay, so CS Movie Night is one of those things where I was like, well, I think we should have a movie. We should have computer-related movies or movies that are really great for developers. And so basically, once a semester, we'll get together just outside the building, get you some chairs. We'll sometimes have snacks and drinks and watch a movie. This semester, we're doing Tron, It's in April, right? I can't remember the exact date, but I'll get that out to you. But yeah, basically, we hang a screen, we have a projector and sound system, just sort of sit out there and watch a movie. So please come.
And to add on to the Tron, it's very good to see, even if you've seen the movie before, like before being a programmer, it's really good to watch it again because there's a lot of really programming jokes in there. Like it's a great, even if you've seen it before, it was a while ago, or even seen the new one, it's got a lot of computery jokes in it. Like there's a little thing called that it's referred to as it's like a Boolean thing, and it can only respond to the protagonist and yes and no. And that's the only way to respond. So just jokes like that. So it's a really fun movie for Okay, so next up is Travis. Talk about the spring programming competition.
Alright, so we have the programming team for Mercer University is the Binary Bears. And we're having usually beating 3 competitions every year, 2 in the fall, 1 in the spring. Spring is usually held here at Mercer. And this year it's going to be on the 25th of February, which is a Saturday. Our 7th annual programming competition. It is a good way to get out. Programming is a good way to keep your programming skills exercised and to develop them and to improve them and to get good feedback on your programming style and the algorithms you use from other programmers. And competitions just make it that much better because you can compete against other programmers, kind of see how you do, and it gives you kind of a goal for speed and accuracy and clarity when you're programming so that you can solve the problems faster. We're having programming students from all over Georgia and even University of Central Florida is coming this year. Yes, so we're going to have 3 senior teams and 1 junior team. The junior team is students that have just completed their first programming course, and so we're not going to throw them in the mix with everybody's had the more advanced algorithms classes and higher level programming classes. They're going to be competing with other programmers on the same level. Our 3 senior teams are these are pretty much the same teams we had in the fall. We found pretty good working well together and good mix of programming language knowledge and algorithms knowledge and the other mathematical and problem-solving skills that you need for a programming team. If you need to know any more information about the competition this spring, you can contact Dr. Allen at his first email, allen_r@mercer.edu. Yes, Steve.
When do you guys have practice? And 2, if you have a scheduling conflict with the actual tournament, will still be possible to go to the games just that
For the practice, you need to talk to Dr. Dye about the practice times. He did email them out. They don't have them memorized. But talk to him about the practice times.
I'm sure Dr. Dye would let you sit around and practice with us. As far as the competition, I think we're booked for
Yes.
the team.
I've got a mocktail tournament then.
Okay.
Yes. Also, yes, thank you for reminding me. We're full up on the team rosters are full. There's no more room for any more teams for the competition. But if you'd like to compete still, or not compete, but you can still get a problem set that day and get some people together and try and solve the problems and see how you do against the teams that are actually competing if you want.
Like you take it to out of the building.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to be in here.
Right, obviously.
You won't be submitting them to the competition.
I don't know. I have to double check on that.
But Dr. Guy said if you wanted to get a problem set, you could once the competition started.
Y'all will submit them to Dr. Dye in his office.
I think that's what
While he's
the way
watching
it
basketball.
is. That's his idea, yeah.
All right.
All right, cool. Thank you, Travis. And then Dr. Richard can come up and talk about the Mercer Cyber Defense Team.
Paul Sharon was going to be here this morning, but at the front of fire at 4:30 a.m. So he asked me to speak on his behalf. The meeting times vary right now. We're looking at Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.